October 13. 3:02 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Und damit, bam Leute. Und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Wir sind hier nach dem ersten Gerichtstag, wo wir unseren Klienten, dessen Namen ich schon wieder vergessen habe, verteidigen. Ron Delight hieß er, ja, ich erinnere mich. Kaum sehe ich seine kleine Babyface-Fresse. Da erinnere ich mich wieder. Genau, also, ja gut, was heißt verteidigen? Wir haben ihn verteidigt, ja, erfolgreich. Ob das jetzt was Gutes war oder nicht, sei mal dahingestellt. Wir sind zum Entschluss gekommen, dass er den Schatz nicht gestohlen hat. Den Schatz sage ich schon, die Urne. Sondern dieser Detective, dessen Namen ich jetzt auch wieder vergessen habe, der Swari-Typ. Alter. Look at me natürlich, mein Gott. Der hatte gestanden, dass er die Urne gestohlen hat. Und ja, ist alles Friede, Freude, Eierkuchen. Aber natürlich haben wir jetzt ein weiteres Problem. Denn das Alibi von unserem netten Herrn Klienten ist gleichzeitig jetzt auch sein Mordmotiv. Nee, nicht Motiv. Egal, auf jeden Fall war er in dem Gebäude, wo jemand umgebracht wurde. So, er ist am Arsch. Hi, Maya.
You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again.
Well, supposedly, Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred. Genau.
No way, Jose. I don't buy it. But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself, at least from what I can understand.
Looks like he did a good job. Too good of a job this time, Nick. Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder?
I think I'm going to head back to Crane Village for a little while, if that's alright.
Ja, du solltest wahrscheinlich sowieso nicht hier sein.
Sure, but why?
Also, wobei... Ist ja niemand dort, ne? Ist ja im Knast. Und wir sind... Oh, jetzt habe ich das weggedrückt, scheiße. Also, sie bringt die Urne zurück, ne?
Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with. No, Mr. Meyer should stay here. I want you two to spend some special quality time together, full of love and happiness.
Pearls is so caught up in her fantasy, she forgot there's a murder to solve. Sacred Urn given to Pearls.
Now remember, no fighting, okay?
She's gone.
Okay, Nick. Time to get going on this murder investigation.
Alrighty, let's talk. Sacred Urn. You must be relieved we got the Sacred Urn back, huh?
You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't me? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Army, like it always used to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before.
Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago, when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Army's name into I am. Ja, wir wissen's noch. Arme Pearly. And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. Ach ja, stimmt. Warum ist sie denn jetzt überhaupt anders? Also irgendjemand hat die wieder umstrukturiert, quasi.
Is it possible that urn is a fake?
I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to Crane Village.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Crane Village in a long time. So I guess people still go to Crane Village to do their training, right?
Yeah. If you don't want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training.
So why haven't you been training lately, Maya?
Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that.
Channeling dojo, huh? Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is.
If you're going to train, you have to be serious. Otherwise, real tragedies can happen.
Is that what happened last year still bothering you? Probably. That murder in her village. It happened because the power of channeling was misused. When a medium uses the Korean technique, she temporarily loses her own will. So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. Bang! That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you? Well... Nein, natürlich nicht.
I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all.
Sounds like being the master of Korean is going to be a heavy responsibility. Alright, what to do? So, what do we do now?
Isn't it obvious we should get out there and investigate the murder?
Well, first we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located.
Hey, why don't we ask Miss Delight? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles.
Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you?
I'm not the same little Maya who used to be unhappy with her dinky little bike, Nicky Boy.
Oh. Und wer bezahlt das? Ne, also, ne? Phoenix, versteck deine Kreditkarte. Speaking of asking around, I've got a few questions of my own for Mr. Delight.
Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center too.
Alright. Falls ihr übrigens, ich weiß nicht, also ich habe mir jetzt mal einen Controller gekauft. So ein Retro-Controller von 8BitDo. Ist mega geil. Ich weiß aber nicht, die Knöpfe sind recht laut. Mega angenehm, aber ich glaube, sie sind recht laut. Falls ihr das hört, I'm sorry. Mal gucken. Ich weiß ja nicht, ob's wirklich so laut ist. Aber das ist die Erklärung. Ja, vor allem der A und B-Knopf hier. Ja. Genau, dann gehen wir mal ins Detention Center. Ja. Detention Center, Visitors Room. I told you, it's not me.
A sad, pitiful whine that tapers into silence.
Sounds like they're interrogating Mr. Delight right now.
Man, we don't have enough time as it is.
Yeah, well, I guess the police are going crazy, just like we are. Yesterday they thought he was just a thief. But now they got a murder case on their hands. Ja, kann ja nicht sein, dass wir in einem Fall keinen Mord haben. Wäre ja lame. Schwachsinn. Eine Welt ohne Mord. In Phoenix, Wright.
I guess you're right. That guard over there looks a bit on edge too.
Come on, we'll just have to come back later.
Okay, let's go check out some other place, Nick.
Geht's dir gut, Sir? Okay, es geht ihm gut, alles klar. Na dann, wenigstens hat er Spaß, ne? Sieht nicht so aus, aber na gut, naja. Richtiges Funny Face hast du drauf. Ja, wir schlendern mal ein bisschen herum hier. Gehen wir ins Hideout. Gucken, ob die Miss Delight da ist. Mask the Mask's Hideout.
Oh, Nicky Boy, Maya.
Miss Delight.
All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie.
Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting his case.
Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Hey, Nicky Boy, please help Ronnie. He's not a killer, I swear. My Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly.
Alright, I'll poke around and see what I can find out.
Really? Are you serious? Oh, I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore.
I had no idea Mr. Light had such a vulnerable side. Naja, der Mann ist, ne, wegen des Mordes angeklagt, also... kein Wunder. Dann erzähl mal ein bisschen.
Listen carefully, Nicky Boy. My Ronnie would never ever kill anyone. It's just not in him. I don't think he would either, Nick.
Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not hard to imagine him just snapping and screaming, "Please die!"
You would never say that. Anyway, Mr. Light, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief. I already told you that's just a fantasy for him.
Mr. Light, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world.
What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance of a thief out of the very idea.
I guess I just don't get it.
Huh? Get what?
I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple.
Yeah, they sure are different. Come on now, Nicky boy. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway. What? For you?
Okay. Es geht uns zwar nichts an, aber hey. Ist mir egal.
So was it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. Delight? Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life. Saved your life? I was at work one day when 2 robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl into a little ball and in a corner, so I fought back.
Robbers?
Yes, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears.
Yeah, I would too if I were in that situation.
Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. Delight come running to save you? Yes, exactly. I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his.
Okay.
He went right up to those 2 knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces. "Please stop it!" he screamed. I could see the robber's face turn pale. That high-pitched shriek of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people. Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the 2 robbers. All by himself. He came to save me, a total stranger, all by himself.
Naja, war ja sein Job, ne? Also.
He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. Wow, that's a great story. Yes, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did.
That was so romantic. I'd fall in love too, I guess.
Nick, I hope you'll do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage.
Maya, es ist literally letzte Season passiert. Aber okay. With Maya, that possibility always seems to loom in the not so distant future. Wobei, ja gut, nicht exakt so, ne? Aber hey, ich habe dich gerettet. Also, dann, Detective Adam.
I hate these kinds of people more than anything. You mean ace detectives? No, I'm fine with ace detectives. Oh, so then you must mean thieves. No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be ace detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. By the way, why did you go to Detective Abney's office anyway? Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try to find out more about the real criminal. The real criminal? Yes, obviously, the real Mask the Mask is not my Ronnie, right? Yeah. And Detective Abney knew more about Mask the Mask than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV.
So then you went there to ask him some questions. War er nicht im Gerichtssaal? Egal. Okay.
That's right, I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said the ace detective isn't in right now, but I forced my way past her and into his hideout.
I wouldn't exactly call that office of his a hideout.
The bag was sitting right there on top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that bag yesterday too. There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else.
Okay.
Miss Delight, do you know about KB Security? Don't be silly, of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works.
No, she thinks he still works there, huh? And yet, according to what we heard today...
Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron the lad was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore.
It looks like Mr. Light doesn't know. KB Security is only about 20 minutes away, by motorcycle that is.
I told me it takes 30 seconds. By car.
Well, I have to admit I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike.
To make it to KB Security that fast, are you sure you aren't literally flying?
Why don't I give you a ride sometime? Or better yet, how about now?
No, I'll pass, thanks. Ach komm, Phoenix. Why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves?
Ha! What a scaredy cat you are, Nick.
Mr. Light told us the location of KB Security.
Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick.
Alrighty. Let's do that. Was haben wir denn hier eigentlich noch so? Die Atomy Agency. Gehen wir da erstmal hin und gucken, ob es da was gibt. Aber wahrscheinlich nicht, ne? Wow, this place is literally crawling with cops. Ach so, ja.
What did you expect now that they know he was actually masked the mask? This must be incredibly embarrassing for them, don't you think?
I guess they're trying to make up for it by tearing this place apart. I just noticed, Gumshoe is nowhere to be seen.
Well, he's a homicide detective. He's probably working on the murder case.
But wasn't he in charge of the mask-to-mask investigation all the way up to yesterday?
Well, a murder case is a lot more exciting, isn't it? He'd say something like, "There's nothing like a good murder case, pal."
Point for the quality of impression. Ich hab's nicht mal versucht, sorry. But I'm not sure Gumshoe has bloodlust, Maya. Okay, also ich werde jetzt hier nicht nochmal alles angrapschen. Kein Bock. Kann ich jetzt hier nicht? Dann gehen wir mal hier hin. Komm, erstmal die ganzen Orte abklappern. Lordly Taylor Exhibition Hall.
The Treasures of Grain exhibit is all ruined now.
Maya.
I'm sorry, it's just so sad. This was our big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling.
Maybe we can cheer her up somehow. Well, now that we've got the Sacred Urn back, maybe they can reopen it.
Really?
Sure, maybe they can label it the Urn of Mask the Mask's Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa! That's brilliant, Nick. We could clean up and be filthy rich.
Woohoo! Wow, that was surprisingly easy. Ja, schreib es auf deine Leinwand. Na gut, dann ja komm, gehen wir hier nochmal kurz hin. Lordy Taylor Basement Warehouse. Ach ey, Andrews is here. Okay.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright?
Miss Andrews, what's she still hanging around down here for?
So how is it going? What about the Sacred Urn?
The urn? Oh, that. It's been taken care of already.
What do you mean on that? Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found? Yes. It was brought in during the trial yesterday. Today. Wow, really? You are the greatest. You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Mask the Mask's wife that found it.
Well, anyway, I'm so relieved.
Okay, dann talken wir mit dir noch. The Mask's identity.
I just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually the thief all along.
It looks that way right now.
It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring the mask to guard the treasures.
Don't blame yourself, you were just doing your job.
Hey Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So when was it that you hired Detective Abney again? About 20 days ago.
When was it that the Mask's calling card arrived?
That was about 10 days ago.
So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard.
I guess that's it then. Detective Abney must have really wanted the Sacred Urn after all.
I guess so. Night of the crime.
What? So Mask the Mask's murdered someone as well?
Well, that's how things look right now.
Yes, but I thought that he was here stealing the urn at the time.
Well, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything is possible.
Nick, let's get down to business already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Abney?
No, I couldn't have.
After all, he was hidden in the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him.
He claims that's the way he always operates. War er nicht beim Computer?
That's just what he says, so he can have an alibi while he commits the thefts himself.
Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Mask the Mask pretty well.
I'm so glad that you got your Sacred Urn back.
Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it.
What is it?
I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different.
Really? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews? No, I don't know anything. Why would I?
Okay. Cyclops. Sie hat die Urne kaputt gemacht. Nicht wahr?
What do you think this means, Nick?
It means the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the Sacred Urn is our very own Miss Andrews. Okay. Was haben wir eigentlich für Evidence alles? Muss ich nochmal kurz reinschnuppern. Huch, nee, das wollte ich nicht. Ich wollte so, ne? Okay. Die Brosche. Keycard, was war das nochmal? Ach, das ist einfach, okay. Irrelevant, glaube ich. Brieftasche, ja, okay. Okay, ich weiß nicht, ob wir uns hier doch mal umgucken müssen. Examen. Was wir halt immer noch nicht wirklich angeguckt haben, ist das halt. Also, wir haben uns schon angeguckt, aber wir haben nie was dazu gesehen. Und die Farbe hatte irgendwas, hat sie noch zu bedeuten. Looks to me like it's been dry for several days.
There's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly and it's shocking pink.
I don't see how the color of paint is in any way important. Ja, aber die ist halt irgendwie nicht... Weil die Urne hat ja auch Farbe dran. A pathetic looking wooden box. Das hatten wir schon, ja. Okay, nee, scheint unwichtig zu sein. Statue vielleicht nochmal. Aber ich glaube nicht. Das habe ich alles schon gesehen. Ja, gut. Ich meine, wir können... Komm, wir probieren es mal. Wir können ja aufhören, wenn wir es doch nicht wissen. Aber ich sehe nicht, wie wir mehr Hinweise bekommen sollen, wenn wir zu KB Security gehen. Von daher, wir probieren es einfach mal. Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the Sacred Urn?
Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit.
The urn that was submitted before the court today, it's obviously not the same urn as before.
Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake.
A fake?
You're the one who said it wasn't. You're the one who said it wasn't the same. So that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine?
Haben wir das? I don't know. Nee, ich glaube nicht. Na gut, dann... I don't know. Dann gehen wir erstmal weiter, komm. Vielleicht ist es auch erst komplett am Ende, wo wir das machen können. Weil ich sehe nicht, wie wir jetzt hier beim... direkt ins CEO-Office. Okay. Aber erstmal zur Tür rein und mal Hallo sagen, bevor wir einfach hier reinstürmen. Aber okay, direkt ins Office. Alles klar. So, I guess this is where it all went down, huh?
There wasn't here look thick, just like you'd expect in a CEO's office.
What has that got to do with anything?
Hey, it's you guys.
Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe.
Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh? Sure was, pal. The prosecutor made real fools out of us. Yeah, I feel for you. Wow, that's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like... Oh, that was great. You guys got what you deserve, pal. Oh. Or something to that effect. Do I really sound like that to you, pal? If the gumshoe fits... Well, anyway... Point is, I can tell when someone puts their heart into their jobs. I can sympathize with when things don't go your way. Sometimes I feel like wrong is the only way things go for us detectives. Wow, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy.
Now, if this little love fest is over, maybe we can start investigating? Sure. What happened?
Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder. Okay. The thing is, I'm really not supposed to. Hey, come on. What about how we put our hearts into our work? Things are really working against us right now and we need help. Okay, I'll tell you. Just don't start crying on me, okay, pal? Okay, I won't cry on you, pal. The victim's name is Kane Bollard. He was the CEO of KB Security and a pretty big fella in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 o'clock in this morning. His estimated time of death was 1 in the morning on October 12th. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably an object in his room.
It happened exactly at the same time the mask was stealing the urn, huh? Coincidence? Kane's autopsy report. Time of death, 12.10. 1 a.m. Cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head. Alles klar.
So, why did it take almost an entire day to discover the body?
There's a good explanation for that one. Bullard's body was stashed away inside that safe.
Safe? Well, it's pretty big.
Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, out he came.
Oh, so the body fell out. That's... that white string must be the shape from when he fell out.
I think we still need some more information about Mr. Billiard.
Maybe you could start by getting the man's name right. Detective Adme.
So, what happened to Mask the Mask?
He's at the detention center screaming like a madman. Investigate me again, he keeps yelling.
No, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right?
Oh, you mean that detective at me? Oh, that was great. That guy got what he deserved.
The detective I know and love.
Think about it, Atomy was always around when a calling card showed up, but he's always mysteriously disappeared when the heist took place. I was hiding at the crime scene. Yeah, right. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard. That's how you just knew he was the thief.
Don't explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item he keeps bragging about.
Yeah, he just did that to make himself look like a great detective, that's all. But there's this one thing I can't figure out about his first heist.
His first heist?
Yeah, the Tear of Amanon case. There was a witness on that one.
A witness?
Here, I saved the newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already under arrest, you guys can keep it.
Okay. The gem and the thief. Stolen? Clickbait. Hey, this guard here. Haven't I seen him somewhere before? It's pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but now that she mentions it. Newspaper clipping added to the court record. An article on Mask the Mask's first heist. Kann ich das nochmal angucken? Gibt's da auch Text dazu oder irgendwie nicht so, ne? Nee, wir können wieder mal nicht lesen. The Precious Gem, The Tear of Amanon. Priceless, glaube ich, heißt das. Die Wache sollen wir kennen. Hat auf jeden Fall lange Haare. Das ist nicht Larry, oder? Wait. Nee, das ist nicht Larry, oder? Ach so! Natürlich, Ron Delight könnte es sein. Wo ist Larry? Ja, nee, der hat spitze Haare. Na gut, dann ist es wahrscheinlich Ron Delight als Wache. Das könnte sein. Prosecutor Godot.
Oh, that prosecutor, I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. Delight.
Yeah, I think he did it that way just because he knew it hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway.
So, who is that Java-addicted mask maniac anyway?
Prosecutor Godot? He's quite an enigma, huh? Thing is, pal, I never even heard of the guy before. He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office, came out of nowhere.
That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor.
And it's true, according to the records anyway. But no way he's an amateur, he's an Iceman in court. A maverick that give me goosebumps.
Goosebumps? You?
Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Nobody would talk to me, they all just turned the other way.
Poor Detective Gumshoe, I had no idea you were so unpopular.
No, that's not what I meant.
That Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. Get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret. Yes. Na gut, dann gucken wir uns erstmal das hier alles an. Fetter roter Knopf drücken. Los, Maya. That's your job.
Oh, there's a button here. Let's see.
Hey, cut it out. Don't press that.
That was pretty funny. I never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that.
What is that button anyway? Hörst du es nicht, Phoenix?
It's an emergency buzzer. It says right there on the panel.
Oops, you're right. It's written right there. Nick, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first?
This alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up there.
Really? Then it's possible on the night of the crime.
Oh, so when the CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer?
Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down there. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. Also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullard, the victim, wasn't wearing gloves, by the way, so just so you know.
I think we'd better go and talk to that guard about his emergency buzzer. Okay, connect to the basement security guard office. There are no fingerprints on it. Okay. This must be the CEO's desk. It's a lot simpler than I would have thought.
Hey, that looks like a super soft chair. Let me try it out just for a second.
Whee!
Oh, nice. I feel just like a CEO. Hey, you. Whip me up a cup of some really expensive import tea and some scones. Move it. Ah, this is the life.
The victim sat in that chair just before he was brutally killed, you know.
Ah!
Dann haben wir hier ein paar Akten. These look like some kind of bookshelf, rolling cabinet hybrid.
I can't get in between these two shelves.
Restrain yourselves trying. It looks like the shelves are controlled by a special panel.
So, I guess it's one shelf at a time, huh? Looks like they're filled with bunches of files.
Yeah, files filled with data about security jobs they were hired to handle.
It'd be a good night's reading if you've got insomnia. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting, like UFOs or something.
Schon das Bild hier. Ja, das sehe ich doch, das ist dieses Pokémon Legends Arceus, oder? Sehe ich direkt von hier.
Wow, look at that huge framed photo.
Ja. Tall mountains rising majestically against a dark and cloudy sky. Ist halt echt, ne? Das ist der Kraterberg. Mensch.
There's a title written at the bottom of the photo. The Legend of Arceus. That's it. That was his best sunrise?
Here, this guy didn't get out enough, or he had really rotten luck with the weather.
Maybe if he had lived a little longer, he would have seen some better days. You, think about it. That guy was laying in here all night.
Yeah, oh, by the way, don't bother asking about fingerprints. There were none.
Well, somebody opened the safe on the night of the crime, right?
Yeah, and so?
Well, if Mr. Bullard's body was hidden in there, it must mean that it was opened by either the killer or the victim, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I got some bad news for you, pal. Are you ready?
Okay, shoot.
Opening this baby is no piece of cake. There are only a few people who know how to open this safe, pal.
Yeah, and?
Everyone that knows how to open this safe had airtight alibis, I checked. Everyone except one, that is.
I'm always afraid to ask. Ja, kein Bullard wahrscheinlich. Ah, nee.
Former security chief Ron Delight.
Huh.
What? Ron Delight? He was security chief?
Ron, so he knew how to open the safe, huh?
Yeah, sorry for raining on your parade there, pal.
Das ist natürlich ungünstig.
This rope. You think it fell out of the safe when it was opened?
I don't think so.
So, you mean...
Yeah, I think the string shows where and how the corpse was lying.
You mean... The victim, he was killed by being crushed by the safe door?
She can't be serious, can she? Noch was? Oh, hier ein dicker Ordner. Fick. Check out this big... Ist tatsächlich fake. Big, thick binder here.
Leave the heavy lifting to me, Nick.
Reading a file isn't exactly bank work, just a little hard on the eyes. Ah!
What did you find out, Nick?
This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. This huge file is all about Mask the Mask. It's filled with info on him.
What kind of info?
It's filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes.
Hey, Nick, look at the last page. It's a list.
Let's see. Tier of Emanon, $100,000. It looks like a list of all the treasures that Mask the Mask stole. Ich dachte, das war priceless. Naja. So then, $100,000 is
the value of the stolen item?
I don't know. That number sounds kind of low. I think I'd better secretly make a copy of this list. Okay. Kane's list. Found on a table at the crime scene. Okie dokie. Haben wir noch was? Nö. Das war's. Können wir dir was präsentieren vielleicht? Wie wär's mit der Liste?
So about this.
Huh? What's that? Hey, wait a minute, Maya.
What's wrong?
He copied that data without permission. Don't show it to him. He might get mad at us.
So, what are you whispering all about? Oh, it's nothing. It's just my billfold.
That's a pretty thick billfold you got there, pal.
Now I really want you to show it to me.
Oh.
This was his first heist, and I guess I underestimated him. I was sure I was going to get him, so I was careless and lost the info on the witness.
By witness, do you mean the guard in this photo?
Yeah, he and the detective worked together to try catching Mask the Mask.
But he got away anyway, huh?
That guard. I got a weird feeling that I've seen him around lately.
Was ist, wenn ich dir sein Profile-Picture zeige? Ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, dass es ist.
I kind of feel sorry for him. He's kind of a sad young guy.
Yeah, and he seems to have a habit of always getting arrested prematurely.
Well, it's just my personal opinion, but I think the police should have investigated the whole thing more carefully.
But weren't you the one that arrested him with a giant goofy smile on your face? Come on, we don't have time to start with that. Let's just leave it alone. Okay, können wir sonst noch was fragen? Will ich über Kane Bullard?
Detective Gumshoe, tell us more about Mr. Shane Bluebeard. That's Kane Bullard, not Shane Bluebard, pal.
Oh yeah, the victim in this case just doesn't make much of an impression on me. Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullet was found dead.
And his body wasn't discovered until this morning.
Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out?
Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now.
Okay, Nick, now is our chance to get more info about the victim. So hurry up and ask. Kennst du Larry? Okay. Ja. Was wir natürlich noch machen können, ist dir mein Badge zeigen. Here, take a look at my attorney's badge.
Are you still showing that cheap little thing off? A real man keeps his mouth shut and carries a suave police badge, pal.
Okay. Naja. Dann hätte ich gesagt, gehen wir weiter. Wo können wir? Wir können in den Security Room. Ach nö, ich sehe den Mantel schon. KB Security Guard Office. Wow, this is really something else. Es sieht echt hässlich aus. Da zu arbeiten, Alter, da kriegst du ja Kopfschmerzen.
For Security Guard Office, it sure doesn't feel very secure.
KB Security Guard. Oh, I just remembered Larry might be. Hey Nick, what's up? So he is here. Yo, how's it hang, dude? You got my sweet little Maya with you too.
Hi, Larry.
Here I was working my fingers to the bone. And in walks an angel. I've got no problems with a daytime date. It's all good. No, that's not what we're here for. We're investigating the Bullard murder case. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a lawyer, aren't you? He's so hopelessly clueless. Well, if it's about the murder case, boy, have I got some good info for you.
Really? What is it?
Well, I don't mind sharing with my sweet little Maya. But Nick here is a different story.
But Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies.
And that was then and this is now. Na gut. Maya, so what's this good info you were talking about, Larry? Hey, I'm a guard and pro. I can't just give away information for free. You want some bribe? Thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest. Can you talk to him, Maya? Please.
Larry, tell us already. What's the good info?
Hey, I like that. This kitten has got some class. Okay, you really want to know?
Yes, so tell me.
Okay, so the thing is, Ron the Light was an employee here. And naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me?
Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on.
Well, 1 year ago, Ron the Light was fired. And there was no warning at all. It just happened all of a sudden. I know this is a small company, but I think that was pretty awful.
I guess he must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that.
Like maybe skipping out work to go pick up hot chicks or something. No, that's just you. So, what is it like to be a part-time security guard? Let me tell you, it's tough. Well, you know me. I get by alright, I guess. First, I have to keep my eyes on these monitors all the time.
Monitors?
There are security cameras set in each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out.
Oh.
And if I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams.
What teams?
The security teams for this company, they're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm not sure either, so if it's something small, I don't bother calling them. So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. Hey, ist nicht so einfach, wie es scheinen mag, ne? Und wenn was schief geht, dann bist du halt am Arsch. You were in this office when the murder took place, weren't you? Why do you say that? This is just a part-time job for me, and I can't operate the equipment, and I'm dumb. Even if it's part-time and you are dumb, you're still in charge of security here. Hey, give me a break, don't try to pin the whole thing on me. That's not fair, Nick. Huh?
I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility.
Anyway, the point is, you were here that night, right? Right? Oh no, I knew something smelled bad, and it was the butts after all. Well, it's like I always say, that was then and this is now, okay? Looks like I'm going to have to break his psych locks after all. Okay, dann examinen wir mal hier. Ach, guck mal. Sweet. Mit Kirschenmuster. That's my partner's seat? Your partner? Well, that's what I call her. She's my superior, actually. Kind of a weird old lady.
There's tea spilled all over that machine, you know?
Oh, don't worry about it. Just the other day I spilled some chocolate milk on mine. It still works fine, more or less. They really know how to build them, I guess. An old lady. Oh boy, ich hoffe, wir sehen sie nicht. Something is written on this poster in fine print.
A guard's 5 commandments. Wow, this sounds serious. Let's see what it says. Number 1, obey thy superior. Number 2, respect thy superior. Number 3, smile at thy superior. Number 4, salute thy superior. Number 5, pay donuts for thy superior upon command. It's signed Wendy Holbach, head supervisor.
She's one tough old bird, let me tell you. Cross her and you'll come face to face with her real genuine ray gun. Genuine ray gun? Yeah, sounds scary, alright. Well, fortunately she's on vacation, that's why I'm so relaxed right now. Oh, gut. Hey, Larry, that's your jacket, isn't it? That's right.
Did you know you hung it right on top of some kind of lever?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure, I was told to never ever touch that lever. She scowled and huffed at me. Something terrible will happen if you do. Got it, greenhorn?
So why hang your jacket on such an important lever?
Because it got me curious. If the jacket's weight pulls the lever down, that's what they call an accident. Doesn't the suspense just kill you? Don't you want to know what will happen, huh?
It's true, it's killing me too. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, but for a different reason. Oh god. No clues here.
Wow, take a look at these things here. Hey, Larry, what are they?
Did you say, Hey man, it's not like I have to know what they are to do my job. I always thought they were just some kind of decoration or something.
Oh boy. How did this guy ever get a job here anyway?
The screens there show what's going on all over the building, everywhere. And it's my job to keep a steady eye on them, all of them. I wouldn't sound so smug if I were you.
Can you watch regular TV on these too?
If anyone would sit here and watch TV instead of working, it's Larry. Hey, Maya, I'm a pro, okay? Besides, you can't get regular TV on it. And how do you know that, Larry? Because that was my first bit of investigation, if you know what I mean. I know what you're thinking. It was a professional investigation, alright? Alright. Ja, schön KFC und Mc's und was ist das? That's my workstation. Pretty cool, huh? Keep a steady eye on the monitors. Use that mic for communication.
Look at all this equipment. Must be hard to operate.
No biggie. I think there's an instruction manual somewhere in this room.
Somewhere?
Instruction manual? What are you going to do in an emergency? Well, I guess I'd start by calmly looking for the instruction manual. During that time, my partner, the old lady, would calmly look for her reading glasses. That's what us security professionals call teamwork. Even Maya and Pearls could run this place better.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Okay, das war's wohl, ne? Kann ich dir was... Ah, ne, wir müssen dir ja, ne? Ich zeig dir trotzdem mal ein paar Sachen. Vielleicht. Hier, das. Hey, Larry, there's something I want you to look at. Hey, Nick, I already told you I'm a pro and you don't interrupt the pro when he's working. I don't have time to sit and chat with you, alright?
Oh, is that right?
Oh, not naturally, I've got time for you though, Maya. We're gonna have to squeeze this guy if we want to get more information out of him, huh? Alrighty. Vielleicht about Kane Bullard. Hey Larry, there's something... Okay. Sagt gar nichts. Okay. You know what? Dann werden wir mal probieren. Hier deinen Psych-Log zu lösen. Mal gucken. Night of the crime. The night of the crime. Were you working hard like you were supposed to? What? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Mr. Light? But that was that, and this is this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night too? Never. I didn't sneak out. I tell you what. I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow. Now that's confidence. What's if I've dredged in the rain puppy look on your face? Do you have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not minding his station when the murder happened is... höchstens der Buzzer. Also ich gehe mal davon aus, dass er wirklich gedrückt wurde, aber no fingerprints. Vielleicht wurde es abgewischt. probiere es einfach mal, aber ich... Na, okay. Ja, nee, dann haben wir nix. Wenn uns dann irgendwas noch... Nee, haben wir nicht. Aber jetzt sind wir... Jetzt sind wir wieder so ein bisschen, ne? Haben wir noch was zum Talken? Nee. Ein bisschen wieder in der Sackgasse, habe ich das Gefühl. Du hast ja auch nichts mehr zum... Ah doch, the victim. Can you... Das merkt man nie, wenn der ein neues Thema kriegt. Can you tell us some... Ach so, ja, jetzt weiß ich wieder. Ja, Maya hatte gesagt, jetzt sollen wir nach dem Victim fragen. Ja. Can you tell us some more about Mr. Bullard?
He was the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway?
Well, a company basically sends security teams out to buildings to guard them. Mr. Bullard must have had the chance to learn a lot of secrets doing this kind of work. Oh, and? I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money grubber.
Really? Me too. I just love money. I can't ever get enough.
Please stop leaning towards me like that. You aren't getting to my wallet. Anyway, it looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions.
Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shiftier.
Let me go already. Apparently he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies.
Oh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded.
Yeah, KB Security used to head security operations against Mask to Mask.
What? Really?
Yeah, and after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation really took a nosedive. So it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmail later, huh? Kann ich dir dann den Blackmail Letter nochmal geben vielleicht? About this blackmail letter. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it too, pal. Why would Kane Bullard have been blackmailing Ron Delight anyway? Well, Mr. Delight used to work at KB Security, right? But what was it that made him quit?
Nick, that's it. Maybe that's the same reason he's being blackmailed.
Well, I'm in the middle of investigating that right now.
Oh, alright.
Können wir jetzt talken? Ja, schade. Haben wir noch was? Irgendwas Wichtiges? Vielleicht die Keycard? This is proof that Ron Delight was here at the crime scene when the murder happened. His wallet and his keycard, huh?
I think we need to ask Mr. Delight some more about those two things.
Ja, vielleicht wurde seine Brieftasche einfach nur geklaut und hier platziert, ne? Und jeder kann ja die Keycard nutzen. Das ist ja nicht Rons Keycard, die wurde ja... Also sie wurde nur in seiner Brieftasche gefunden. Ja, das kann man ja auch planten. Okay, aber können wir demnach jetzt mit Ron reden vielleicht? Das wär schnieke. Ich guck nochmal in die anderen Locations rein. Ob da irgendwas passiert. Add me. Nope. Hideout. Nope. Moment, hast du noch was zu sagen? Nope. Na dann, Detention Center. Na. Fuck. Kann ich dir noch was zeigen? Blackmail letter. Do you know about this?
Oh, is that a letter addressed to Ronnie? Sorry, but I hate it when people poke their noses into other people's business. Looks like Miss Delight doesn't know about it, which means she has no idea that her husband was being blackmailed. That's Ronnie's wallet. It was found at KB Security on the night of the murder. Ronnie and I went out to dinner early that evening. I'm sure he had his wallet with him then.
So it's true then, he must have dropped it at the crime scene. Oder es wurde ihm gestohlen.
Ah, I know what it is. That's one of those keycards from Ronnie's company. Come to think of it, it's been a long time since I've seen one.
It's probably because Ron doesn't work there anymore. Vielleicht das? Nope. Ich könnte vielleicht noch Larry die Newspaper zeigen. Das habe ich, glaube ich, vergessen. Vielleicht kennt er ja... Oder habe ich das nicht schon? Nee. Ah, Moment, ich habe gerade eine Idee bekommen. Warte mal. Ah, nee. Ah, wobei... Ich wollte gerade noch mal... Das Magatama, aber... Es hatte, glaube ich, geheißen Proof, dass er nicht am Arbeitsplatz war. Aber wir haben kein Proof. Ich wollte gerade sagen, ich könnte wahrscheinlich ihr Profile-Picture... Moment, kann ich nochmal? Warte. Brieftasche. Found at KBC... In the KB Security Building at around... Moment, das proved es doch, oder? Er hat es um diese Zeit gefunden. Das heißt, er war nicht in seinem Office hier. Okay, warte, ich probiere es nochmal. Present. Wir sind sonst in einer Sackgasse. Ich glaube, wir haben nichts mehr übrig sonst. Ich muss irgendeinen Cyclock breaken. So, skippen das hier nochmal hier. Ja, of course. Ja, gib mir den Dollar bitte. Ich probier's mal mit der Wallet. Yes, that's it. Whew. This wallet, you know about this, right? I've never seen it before. Liar, you hand delivered this wallet to Mr. Light just yesterday. Give me a break, you can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it? Yeah. 1 in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning. That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before then. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m., then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Wahrscheinlich die Record, oder? Wo ist es? Hier. Nee, Moment, wo ist die Record? Ah, hier, das ist hier drauf, ne? Used at 1 a.m. Ja, also er ist genau dann reingegangen. Larry, when you use this keycard, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does, but I can't show the record to just anyone, you know? I can't show. The keycard data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was opened with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m. At the time of the murder. No way! Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. What happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime? That happened. Right in the middle of your shift. Oh. Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. God, no! Okay, wir kriegen wieder ein bisschen Leben zurück. Nice. Also raus damit. Oh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault. Larry, there was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man. What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened. Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, my Donna called and said, I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her and he was standing right there next to her. Who was? Her new boyfriend, it was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right into the kisser. Normally I'm the one that does the punching, isn't that right, Maya? Yeah. So is that why you left the security guard office? Oh, I'm sorry, it's all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What?
He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby.
Oh boy, Nick! Is there anything I can do? Anything, just name it. I'll do whatever I have to do to make up for it, I swear I will. Larry.
Hey Nick, as long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got?
He's right, maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. Nick. Okay, dann präsentieren wir mal ein bisschen was. Newspaper clipping mal to begin. I think you know. Ja. Okay. Dann der Buzzer vielleicht. Ging er off.
The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right?
That's right, just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya. Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. I promise I'll come running to your rescue like the professional guard I am.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Thanks, I try. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer?
Yes, please tell us.
Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. Alrighty. Emergency buzzer.
I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier.
Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh? You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Well, this is the first floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the first floor. I thought it would be a good idea to adopt a wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet.
Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night?
Must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right? Of course I did. And I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either.
Do you think you could take just one more look for me? Pretty please?
Oh, okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya.
What do you think, Nick?
He's probably right. I don't think even Larry could make a mistake like... Wah!
What is it? What's wrong?
I made a mistake. But how? It can't be. It's possible. Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, it went off just once in the morning at around 1 a.m.
1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened.
Really? Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be. Na gut. Also, the buzzer went off once at 1:02 a.m. in the CEO's office. Okay. Was können wir dir sonst noch so zeigen? Maybe. Einfach das nochmal. You guys have really made me reflect on the way I've been living. But the only problem is with all this reflecting. Where is the time for love? Frankly, I think reflecting is a bit overrated, you know.
What are you going on about, Larry?
Plus, do you honestly have any new info on the buzzer record? Huh? The record? No, nothing at all. This guy reflects about as much as a piece of black carpeting. Kennst du die Liste? Nope, kennst du nicht. Okay. Das haben wir gefragt, ne? Ja. Case Autopsy Report, vielleicht darüber was? Nope. Können wir dir noch was geben? Vielleicht die Keycard. So, was ist Keycard? So, was ist the keycard that was used by the corporate that night? Wissen wir doch schon, Phoenix. Well, going off the serial number, then yeah. This car was used to open the CEO's office door at 1 in the morning. The client had his car, right? Then it's a no-brainer. He's the killer, man. Okay, ich glaube, wir sind hier fertig, ne? Okay, was werden wir das Gumshoe zeigen? Hier, ne?
Detective Gumshoe, about this right here.
Sorry, it's hard to believe, but there's a limit to how much my brain can hold. I got 2 ears and 2 eyes, but I only got 1 brain.
I can see your eyes and ears. But the jury's still out on the brain thing. Oh.
Hey Nick, if you have something to say, just come out and say it.
Okay, dann halt nicht. So, mit dir können wir auch nicht mehr talken, ne? Dann moven wir noch mal ein bisschen umher, ne? Hier im Hideout vielleicht. Nee. Dann im Add Me Agency. Nee. Dann Exhibition Hall. Basement. Und dann gehen wir mal ins Office und dann ins Detention Center. Ist er jetzt da? Yes! Oh, ich gönn mir mal kurz einen Schluck. Thirsty Boy. Waren 8 Schlücke. Oh, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Delight, did they finish their interrogations?
Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore.
Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you?
Warum ist mein Hals jetzt komplett gefegt, nachdem ich getrunken habe? Well, you see. On the same night, the Sacred Urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor department store. A blackmail letter, you got summoned to the KB security to hand over some money. And then that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Ja, hat er doch gesagt, er ist der Dieb. Oh, okay. The night of the crime. So, that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, you went to KB Security, right? Oh. Also doch? Yes, I went to KB Security at the time. The blackmail note said I should. Ach ja, klar, er muss ja... Wäre blöd, wenn er nicht geht, ne?
Alright, what happened next?
Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the keycard to unlock the door. That's probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone? Okay, also... Ich weiß nicht, ob man den Schatten hätte zeigen müssen, aber es war, glaube ich, recht eindeutig, wer das war. Then suddenly they bashed me over the head. Bam!
Was it Kane Bullard that hit you?
I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. Boah, richtig schönes Higo-Face. Heißt das so? Ich glaube, ne? The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body. Oh no. So that's why you put it in the safe. Yeah, yes, that's right. Alter, mach doch sowas nicht. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it.
Okay, and what did you do after that?
Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in the building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Was ist eigentlich für eine scheiß Security, wenn's Blindspots gibt? Also, please, ihr seid eine Security Company.
Nick, all of a sudden, Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me.
Please don't say that. Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are Mask the Mask? Is that what I've been saying since yesterday?
That was a quick response.
Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating.
But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we?
I'm sorry. Ja, du bist ein Clown. I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn. Aha.
Of course not. After all, you were KB security at the time.
So then the person dressed up as Mask the Mask in this photo, it's gotta be Detective Atme. I guess. Ich hätte jetzt gesagt, es wäre wirklich Ron gewesen. Aber nee, er war ja wirklich im Office.
Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KB security?
How did you? I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please.
Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet.
Oof, thank goodness. No, but I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually.
Why have you been hiding it from her anyway?
Desi would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over.
Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place?
Because Desi spends money like it's water. There is no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being the thief, at least that's what I thought anyway. So he became Mask the Mask for Desiree, huh? Okay, das war's.
Kann ich dir was zeigen?
Konntest du den Buzzer hören? That's the emergency buzzer from the CEO's office. Don't press it, it makes a terrible racket.
Sorry, I just love making a lot of noise.
Does this buzzer have something to do with this case? Well, at this point I don't really know yet. After all, there were no points on it. Prints. Or anything else for that matter. Buzzer record.
The buzzer went off just once around the time that Bullard was killed.
Oh, that's scary.
Do you know anything about that, Mr. Delight?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't.
I'm not surprised by how clueless he is anymore.
Kann ich was mit dem Ort anfangen? This list, we found it in the office of the CEO, Mr. Bullard. Hey, this is a list of all the things Mask the Mask stole. And that's the value of each item listed next to them. $100,000, $150,000.
Are you sure that's the value of the stolen items?
The numbers seem a little low to me. Even on the black market, the prices should be at least 3 times higher than that. Guess he knows about that stuff because he used to be a security guard. Or because he's a thief. Ach ja, hier. Bist du das auf dem Foto? Hey, this is an article about my debut heist. Ja, es ist er. Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail.
But Mask the Mask, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared.
That's right, I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Mask the Mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh? Ach, du warst Mask the Mask? Mann, also langsam bin ich echt verwirrt. Okay, also... Weird.
Oh, awesome. Hey, hold the phone. The card in this photo. Is this you, Mr. Delight?
That's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even pros could see through that in a heartbeat. About first heist. Garden, the photo is Ron Delight. But as you might expect, Detective Abney found a disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective. Also er ist also wirklich ein Ace Detective, ne? Und er hat wirklich die Fälle gelöst. Also nicht gelöst. Aber er hatte den einen Schatz wahrscheinlich wirklich gefunden und zurückgebracht und nicht selbst gestohlen und dann zurückgebracht. Aber der Masked Mask in diesem Fall war dann wer anders. Und wir sind immer noch der Meinung, das war Look at Me in diesem Fall. Masked Mask. Okay, also ist ein bisschen complicated, aber ich krieg das schon hin. Detective Abby found the Masked Mask disguise. That's interesting. Ich denke mal, wir müssen jetzt ihn fragen. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. So that's it. That's when Atmi got his hands on this. Ach so. Das, okay. Next to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. That must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters? You got them starting when? Tell us more now. Hey, calm down, don't get so worked up. Oh, neue Musik. Wait a minute, die habe ich noch nie gehört. Okay. Weird. This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Abaddon heist. That first letter, it said, I know you did it. So someone found out about your true identity? Just like that? It's garantiert at me. It's not easy being a master thief, you know. I've got proof that it was you, so give up. It went on to say. So in the end I had to give up the treasures and I went through all the trouble to steal. Also so hat sie zurückbekommen. Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000. No one said anything about me being worried, you know. After that I started getting the plans in the mail. Ah so. Plans? Heist plans? What are these plans you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown or painting or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So you mean that the one who planned the heists wasn't you? It was Look at Me. No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that I received plans for some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. Das heißt, er ist der Mastermind einfach hinter allem. So ein kleiner Puppenspieler. So Ron Delight was Masked Mask after all. But someone else is behind the thefts, someone who planned them all out in detail. All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail. Could you try not to look so gleeful about it? So you went after the Sacred Urn because of one of those plans too? Well, see, truth is I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal. Mr. Delight, is everything you've just told me the truth? Yes, but please don't tell Desi, okay? Ron's testimony. From the Mask's second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
Yes, but please don't hurt me.
Why would I? Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him?
Yes, of course. I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe.
Was ziemlich dumm war. Aber okay. Warum? Na gut.
But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday.
Why? Damit er ein Alibi hat.
Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right?
I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight. I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word.
Mr. Meyer. Hey, Pearly. I'm back.
Hey, Pearls. So, what have you been up to this whole time?
The Sacred Urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Crane Village to have it examined. And what did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn.
Ah, okay, jetzt können wir also Adrian herausfordern.
Whew. Well, that's a relief. I was really worried. But there's one small problem.
Problem?
These cute little pink splotches. They said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently.
Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? We've got to find out how they got there. That's the big deal. Yes, Mr. Nick, we've got to find out how they got there.
Okay, we'll go find out how they got there.
But please, don't forget about me.
Okay, wir haben die Sacred Urn back. Found in Admin's office, covered in pink splotches, but it's the genuine article. Alrighty. Dann moven wir jetzt ins Office und dann in die Exhibition Hall und dann gehen wir ins Basement. Und Adrian ist gone. Nee, ist noch da.
Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you. Hello there. I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to? Well, actually, I was having this urn examined. I see.
Maybe if you take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here.
Nick, let's look around one more time.
Ah, okay, also jetzt interessiert sie sich wahrscheinlich auch für die Farbe, ne? Huch, das wollte ich nicht. Ja. Oder? Ja, it's been dry several days. Ja, the bottom left.
This is the same color as the paint splotches on the urn.
So then the question is, what's the cause of the odd shape?
Let's look around carefully, Mr. Nick.
Okay, wir haben nichts bekommen, ne? Na gut, dann natürlich noch die Box. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me.
That's the box that the Sacred Urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it too. And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn.
I think I know how the paint got on it now.
Alright, let's investigate again, Nick.
One box that had the Sacred Urn in it has pink paint stains on it. Muss ich das jetzt nochmal anklicken? Ernsthaft? Oh. Ja, I tried. Das, Also wie oft habe ich jetzt das schon angeklickt?
Could be that this odd shape is...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it.
Ah, that's the box the Sacred Urn was in.
If you look there, there's a little bit of paint on the box as well.
Wow, you're right. Look, it matches. But what is it, Mr. Nick?
This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. Completely dry. The box of the Sacred Urn fits in the gap perfectly. I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Okay, ich glaube, wir müssen... Ich glaube, wir können jetzt mit Adrian quatschen, oder? Ja, den Proof haben wir ja, dass die Urne echt ist. Nur die Frage, ob wir den Rest haben, das wissen wir noch nicht. Wir haben jetzt zumindest ja die Farbgeschichte gelöst. Sacred Urn. Wahrscheinlich hat sie es fallen gelassen. Und dann ist sie irgendwie in Farbe gefallen oder so. Dort. Genau, das können wir skippen. Ja. It could be a fake. A fake? You have every evidence. Of course I do. Take that. Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Crane Village and had it examined.
Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how.
What she discovered was that the urn had been broken again.
Did you say again?
Yes, it was broken once a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened again. And quite recently too.
Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know?
Weil es wieder korrekt beschriftet wurde. Soll ich das nochmal? Nope. Was muss ich denn hier präsenten? Ah, vielleicht das Poster. Das Exhibition Poster. Weil es da noch anders aussah, ne? Wo ist es? Das da? Ja. Yes. This poster, it was made recently, right?
Poster? The poster for the exhibit.
At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now for some mysterious reasons it says Army. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed.
Ah! What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken.
Ja, das erklärt auch, warum du es wieder richtig zusammen gemacht hast, weil du nicht wusstest, wie es vorher war. That was a mistake. Now tell the truth.
Wait.
For?
Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened.
Looks like she's not going to give up that last Cyclock so easily.
Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Miller?
Wahrscheinlich der Fleck, oder? Da ist die Kiste runtergefallen. Yes. Well, Miss Andrews?
What is this supposed to mean?
There is pink paint all over this urn. And there is pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews.
But...
Uh-oh, she's trying to make her escape.
But you can't get pink paint anywhere.
Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there is in my room.
Liar.
Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor. There's no proof that it's the same paint.
Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is the box. Take that. This box, the urn was stored in this, right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, there's pink paint on this box as well.
Aha.
I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
Paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken.
Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn.
Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher.
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Well, that's not so hard to understand, is it, Pearly?
No, not at all. I know just how she feels.
It happened about 2 weeks ago, just after the poster photo was taken on the same day Dion arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in a box. Well, when I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, the box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and I thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box and that's when it happened.
Oh,
The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint.
warum öffnest du es auch auf diese Weise und nicht nach oben? Mom, woman.
I was in shock. I let out a huge scream. I can totally see how that could have happened.
Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands.
Well, I knew I was the most important treasure in Crane Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shots were pretty big. And that's when the I Am got changed to Army.
Ja, jetzt ist es wenigstens wieder richtig, also hast du gut gemacht.
I didn't know how it was originally written, but any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Army.
Any sane person, really?
Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling.
Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then.
Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box. Kept out of sight. Kept out of sight. Huh.
But there's something I don't get. When he first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it.
The army face statue, aha. First time that we came down here, it was on the night of that. It was on the night that the Sacred Urn was stolen.
But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the wall or floor of the warehouse when you were here.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. And I realized that the statue would be perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I see.
Now it makes perfect sense.
But there's still one thing I find strange.
Sag mal, Pearls MVP oder was? Die ganze Zeit.
What is it, Pearls?
The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again.
Ja, und es ist wieder weg.
At the time, the statue had been moved, clearly visible.
She's right about that. Well, Miss Andrews?
Well, I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again?
Well then, who was it? Who would have done it, and why?
Der Einzige, der das gekonnt hätte, wäre Luke Atme gewesen, weil er war ja hier. On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day it was moved, but why? Army-faced golden statue carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime, moved again that night. It looks like there's some connection between the Sacred Urn and the murder case.
Why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security. So then why did another mask, the mask, show up here? A lot of different things. Also das war ja dann Das war ja Look at Me, dieser Masked Mask. Scheinbar. Oder das war irgendjemand, den wir noch gar nicht kennen. A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact.
One undeniable fact?
The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but it looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. To be continued. Ey, wir haben nicht die 2-Stunden-Marke geknackt. Wow. Ja dann. Wollen wir doch mal gucken, wie diese ganzen Mysterien alle zusammenhängen im nächsten Part oder in den nächsten Parts. Mal gucken, wie viele Trial-Sessions es geben wird. Aber ich glaube, mit der Investigation sind wir so ziemlich done. Ich glaube, da kommt nichts mehr. Das heißt, wir werden diesen Case dann finishen. Ja, bin ich mal gespannt, wer jetzt wirklich Masked Mask ist. Ich erinnere mich tatsächlich gar nicht mehr. Nur obviously, dass Ron Delight natürlich nicht Kane Bullard umgebracht hat, ist ja klar. Aber an den Rest erinnere ich mich gar nicht mehr. Und ich bin gerade auch ein bisschen verwirrt, muss ich sagen. Aber umso mehr bin ich ja dann gespannt. Und dann, ja, lass mal gucken, wie das weitergeht im nächsten Part. Bleibt gespannt. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Macht's gut, Leute. Und tschö.